Hello, and welcome to Hudson County Community College Library's Intro into 3D Printing. I'm Tim, and today we are going to be talking about 3D printing at home and cover the following topics. Number 1, what is 3D printing? Number 2, why would we want to 3D print at home? Number 3, what is needed to 3D print at home? What is 3D printing? 3D printing is the art of turning an idea into a physical object with the help of a machine. Well, why would we want to do this? Personally, I think it's pretty cool. But the more practical reason is that you can create whatever you want or need in just a few short hours. Do you want a hinge, a bolt, a hook to hang things on the wall, or maybe even a covering for your latest project? Well, these are just a few things that can be printed with minimal 3D design training. 3D printing was made for prototyping without having the need to send your virtual models to a company and spend a lot of time and money on it. Then, waiting for it to be manufactured and shipped back to you, only to find out that your models you sent need more work or changes, meaning you would need to spend more time and money to do so. With a 3D printer, you can print out as many versions as you want. You can make as many tweaks and changes as you need to get what you wanted in a matter of hours instead of days, weeks, or months. To get started, all you need is the filament to print with, your 3D printer, a virtual model, and a few hours. Once you have your 3D printer all set up, the rest is fairly simple. All you would need to do is get your virtual model. You can create your own or download one from the internet. There are many sites that have models for free. Once you have your file, load it onto your printer software and save it to an SD card. Insert the SD card into your printer and select it to print. In a few short hours, your print will be done and you'll have the model in your hands. Here's something I've recently printed. It'll be in the corner of your screen for a while as we continue. There are many types of 3D printers out there, but today we're going to be going over the easiest type of 3D printer, a printer that uses plastic filament. This type of printing makes items by heating up the filament and pushing it out through a nozzle. The nozzle deposits the filament in a design on the printer bed. This is the first layer, and after it's done, the nozzle moves up and extrudes another layer, and so on, until the design is finished. Think of it like setting up a Jenga tower before you play, where you have to put one layer down first before putting another layer on top of it. Now, just like Jenga, it takes some skill and know-how to print a 3D design, so it does not fall apart while printing. The plastic coming out of the nozzle gets super hot and melts to the layer beneath it so it won't come apart. Layers also need time to cool down so it doesn't melt into a pile of plastic. It's a fine balance, but one that's easier to achieve than you might think. After all the layers have finished printing, you'll have your object. Right now, I've created a sponge tray so my sponge won't sit in its own water and can dry out so no mold or mildew can form on it. This print took over 5 hours to print out. That's one of the drawbacks of printing: time, as it required such a long time to print out a simple item like that. If you're using 3D printed items for decoration or basic use, that's fine. But if you're using it for more industrial purposes, there may be problems. A lot of force and stress on plastic layers can cause them to crack across the lines where they have been fused. Some issues can be solved in software, and others by the way it's been printed. But for the most part, your 3D printed item will hold up for a very long time. One of my older prints is a soap holder. It's been in my bathroom for over 6 months now, and has held up pretty well in hot water, the occasional drop, and just by holding a bar of soap. Very little has changed, as it's been in my shower for a long time now, and I think it's pretty cool, and it looks pretty neat. I've taken the tray for my soap holder, as you can see right here. It's tough, and it might bend, but it hasn't broken, and it always returns to its original form. If correctly done, a printed item can be a real solution to a problem in the real world. This brings me to my conclusion about 3D printing. They're a cool thing meant for hobbyists who want to bring their ideas into the real world. It's an educational, semi-professional tool that you need to spend some time to figure out how to work it and how to learn how to create 3D designs, but the rewards are amazing. You can fix so many problems you might have around the house, as well as print out toys, gadgets, and other doodads. It's an endless source of wonder and amazement. It gets people to think about what they can create if just given the opportunity to do so. Now, there are many aspects of 3D printing that have not been talked about in this video, and I hope to cover them in future episodes, including more about basic filaments, troubleshooting, and talk in more depth about 3D printing software and modeling. I'd like to wish you all a wonderful day and stay safe. Bye.